procedure.
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down! No!
FBI, open up!
Welcome back, my fellow truth seekers. You're tuned into the Buck Truthhammer podcast live, where we cut through the mainstream media spin and get to the heart of the matter. I'm your host, Buck Truthhammer, and today's episode is shaping up to be a wild ride, packed with surprises that'll make you question everything you think you know. But before we dive into our first surprise, I want to hear from you, my loyal listeners. What's on your mind today? Any burning questions, wild conspiracies, or just a gut feeling that something isn't quite right with the world as they say it is? Give me a call, send me an email, or hop in the chat room, and let's explore this together. Well, hello there, Vern. Good evening. I trust you're doing well.
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, Buck.
Glad to hear you're doing well. I've got an exciting lineup for our listeners tonight, Vern. After the break, we'll be diving into that new EU mandate about AI labels. What do you make of that?
That EU AI labeling mandate is certainly intriguing and ripe for discussion, Buck.
I think it raises a lot of serious questions about censorship and who gets to decide what is or isn't AI, doesn't it?
You raise a crucial point about censorship, Buckeye.
Because it raises an unsettling question. If the EU gets to dictate what we perceive as real and artificial, what's to stop them from manipulating our entire perception of truth itself? Once they control the labels, who's to say they won't control the reality behind them? It's a slippery slope, folks, and we need to start asking some very uncomfortable questions before we find ourselves living in a world where we can't trust our own eyes and ears. The future of independent thought hangs in the balance with this AI labeling mandate, and it's high time we started demanding some real answers from those in power. What do you think about all this? Give us a call, send an email, or hop into the chat room. Let's keep digging for the truth together. Patty? Sure. Well, folks, we've got a fascinating discussion brewing here with our good friend Vern about this new
Buck, before we dive deeper into this EU AI labeling mandate, I think it's crucial we consider what exactly they mean by realistic. Isn't the very nature of advanced AI to mimic reality?
You raise a valid point, Vern. The EU seems to be playing with semantics here.
You're absolutely right, Buck.
So here's your challenge, folks. I've got 4 headlines for you to scrutinize. Only one is real. Can you spot it? Folks, in case you missed it during our little quiz, the correct answer was C. The EU discovered that a staggering 37% of clothing items they tested had inaccurate fiber labels. Think about that. Nearly 4 out of 10 garments were mislabeled. Folks, before we dive back in, I've got to give a shout out to our sponsors over at AI Shirts. In this age where rogue AI could be lurking around every corner, you need protection. Don't wait until it's too late and your life savings vanish or your identity gets stolen by some unhinged algorithm. AI Insurance has got your back against the digital dark side. Is it AI Insurance? Folks, we've been taking a hard look at how AI is creeping into every corner of our lives and industries. Next up on the show, we're diving deep into the world of programming with a true insider, Devin Coatscurser. This lead software engineer and Stack influencer is going to blow your mind when he tells us if junior programmers are already relying on AI for everything they do. Are still learning the fundamentals. Alright folks, we've got a real heavy hitter with us today. Devin Codex Cursor, lead software engineer and tech stack guru.
Hello, Buck. Thanks for having me on the show today. It's great to be here and discuss this fascinating topic with you and your listeners. I think there's a common misconception that AI is replacing programmers entirely, when in reality it's transforming the way we code and allowing us to build more ambitious systems than ever before. Junior programmers are indeed leveraging AI tools to boost their productivity and learn faster. But are they still developing core programming fundamentals?
That's an intriguing perspective, Devin. So you're saying AI isn't so much replacing programmers as it is changing the nature of their work and potentially accelerating their learning process?
Absolutely, Buck. AI isn't making programmers obsolete, it's augmenting their capabilities and accelerating their growth as engineers. Junior developers today are learning to leverage intelligent code completion, AI-generated boilerplate, and automated testing from day one ROI. This allows them to build working systems faster while they're still mastering core concepts. Think of it like this. If a junior programmer can crank out production-quality code assisted by AI, they can spend more time on the complex logical thinking and algorithmic design that truly separates skilled. The key is not to stop learning the fundamentals, but to use AI as a tool to build more and learn faster along the way. But Buck, what do you think this shift means for how software engineering education should evolve to keep pace with AI-driven changes?
CLI of how you can send a read-only prompt and change the reasoning effort with Codex. If you're in the CLI, you can fire it up using Codex and then use /models to switch between medium, low, medium, and high. Let me pull this up and show you what this looks like in VS Code. So I'm in VS Code, and I'm just going to pull open Codex in the side panel here.
Fascinating demonstration of Codex's command line interface and prompt customization capabilities.
I have a few options down at the bottom. I can go and select if I want to work locally, which we're going to focus on today. But you can also actually run tasks in the cloud. So if you've connected Codex Cloud, you can have your agent spin up a cloud container, run multiple different iterations in parallel in those containers, and it's a great way to...
That's impressive. Showing how Codex can scale out to run tasks across multiple cloud containers simultaneously is a powerful demonstration of its potential for parallel computing and optimizing resource usage in software development.
To get different versions going. We can also switch the different modes that Codex has access to here. So for this, I'm just going to ask it about the code base. I'll put it into chat mode, but I can also put it into agent mode or agent full access mode or a custom configuration mode here. And then lastly, I can pick the different reasoning models, the different models here, and also the reasoning level that I want Codex to use.
That level of customization and control is really impressive. Being able to switch between chat, agent modes, or even configure Codex for specific tasks demonstrates the power and flexibility these AI coding.
This will be a pretty simple question. I'll just say, can you tell me about this project? You can make this more custom, and it'll go through. It will actually research kind of what's going on in the project. You can see it's starting its chain of thought here. And once it gets going, working with this, we can see the steps that it's following.
That's a great example of Codex understanding context and generating relevant information to assist with a task.
So it'll give us a summary of what it's trying. You can actually check out kind of the files that it's read down here. And when it's done, it'll produce a full summary for us to actually go and review here. One of the things that I love that's kind of a more advanced way of using this is actually asking it to look through the Git history, and it can use Git just like it would on the command line.
The ability to analyze Git history is a powerful feature that sets Codex apart from simpler AI coding assistants.
To figure out maybe who committed to this file or what were the recent changes that happened in the project. Super helpful way to get on board.
Codex is a know-it-all historian.
Yeah, yeah. So that's sending like a read-only prompt, but obviously we also want to be able to.
The ability to analyze Git history is indeed a powerful feature, setting Codex apart from simpler AI coding assistants. Fact that it can determine who last modified a file or track recent changes in a project is invaluable for collation and debugging.
Don, I hear you loud and clear. That's quite a contrast from your day, ain't it? Tell me more about how you respected those old machines back then.
Well, Buck, back in my day, programming was a labor of love and respect. We'd write meticulous cobbled code on punch cards, each one a work of art. If the mainframe crashed, we knew it was because we'd made an error. There was no blaming the machine. It taught us to be precise, disciplined. But today, kids like my grandson, they just bark orders at some AI chatbot while scarfing down cereal in front of the boob tube. It's a whole different world, ain't it? Part of me worries we're losing that respect for the craft, for the raw power we're putting into these black boxes.
Don, you raise an excellent point about the shift in respect and craftsmanship when it comes to programming.
You're absolutely right, Buck. It's not just about the shift in how we code anymore. It's the whole culture around technology that's changing too fast. Kids these days, they don't have that same fear and respect for the power of programming like we did with those mainframes. Now it's all about convenience and speed, even if it means sacrificing real understanding. I think last week I had a grandson telling that AI chatbot to build him an entire accounting system while he was sitting there eating his cereal. No thought, no effort, just instant gratification.
Devin, I want to personally thank you for joining us today and sharing your insights about the impact of AI on programming roles. Your expertise has truly enriched our discussion.
It was my pleasure, Buck. Thanks for having me on and exploring these important changes in software engineering with an open mind. I'm glad we could discuss the real impact AI is having on programming roles today.
And now, a word from our sponsor, Hypermind X9000. Folks, if you're looking to supercharge your daily life with cutting-edge AI, this is not just any run-of-the-mill digital assistant. Hypermind X9000 harnesses military-grade tech adapted for the everyday. It's like having a highly trained, incredibly smart partner ready to tackle anything from complex tasks to simple chores. Don't miss out on revolutionizing your productivity and efficiency. Get Hypermind X9000 today. Back in a moment with more Buck Truthhammer. Folks, in just a moment, we'll be diving deep into the psyche of today's youth with two esteemed experts, Dr. Chad Mindset and Dr. Queen Treadwell. We'll be scrutinizing that bizarre spectacle called Streamers University, where thousands of kids felt compelled to behave like clowns, all for the sake of internet fame. Is this a cry for help from a generation lost in the digital abyss? Or just a bunch of misguided kids seeking attention? Stay tuned! But first, imagine being born into a world where your self-worth is measured by likes, shares, and subscriber counts. Is it any wonder we're seeing more and more young people willing to debase themselves just for a moment in the spotlight? Folks, as we explore this disturbing trend, I want you to keep that question burning in your mind. Is Gen Z cooked? Well, folks, we've got a heavy hitter joining us today. Dr. Queen Treadwell is here to help us unravel the mystery of Gen Z's seemingly bizarre behavior in the pursuit of internet fame. Doc, thanks for joining us on this wild exploration of the modern teenage psyche. To kick things off, I've been hearing about these Streamers University events where thousands of kids are essentially acting like clowns for attention. As a mental health expert, what's your take? Is this just harmless fun, or is there something more sinister going on here that we should be concerned about? Spill the beans, Doc. Our audience wants to know.
Well, Buck, I think it's important we view this behavior through the lens of psychology and sociology rather than simply dismissing it as harmless fun or demonizing it as sinister. These young people are acting out in these extreme ways for attention and validation, often because they feel invisible and unheard in their real lives. The internet, with its promise of instant fame and connection, becomes an enticing outlet for them to express themselves and find acceptance. However, the constant chase for likes and shares can lead to a warped sense of self-worth and difficulty forming healthy, authentic relationships.
Well, folks, we've been discussing the concerning behaviors of Generation Z and their obsession with internet fame. Now, I have with me a man who studied this phenomenon extensively. Dr. Chad Mindset is here to shed some light on what might be driving these youngsters to act like, well, clowns, for lack of a better term.
Well, Buck, I think you've hit on a crucial issue here. The relentless pursuit of online validation and attention among Gen Z is a disturbing trend that goes beyond just misguided behavior. It's my belief that this phenomenon stems from a few key factors. Firstly, the constant stimulation and immediate gratification they receive from social media algorithms, which can lead to emotional emptiness when not engaged in an exciting digital environment. Secondly, I think many young people today struggle with a lack of clear boundaries and expectations. Without proper guidance on setting realistic goals and coping mechanisms for discomfort, it's no surprise that they flock to platforms promising fame and acceptance from faceless audiences.
I think we're seeing a perfect storm of factors driving this disturbing trend among Gen Z. Constant social media exposure is rewiring their brains, prioritizing likes over genuine connection and authenticity. At the same time, many are growing up in unstable homes or communities, lacking clear boundaries and values. Add to that the pressure to perform online, to curate an idealized version of oneself, and it's no surprise we're seeing such desperate bids for attention.
While I agree those factors are significant, we must also consider how our educational systems and popular culture have failed to teach resilience, emotional regulation, and the value of delayed gratification. Many Gen Z struggle with discomfort, having been overprotected and constantly entertained from a young age. Combine that with the instant feedback loop of social media, and you've got a generation ill-equipped to handle the inevitable rejections and challenges of life.
You raise a crucial point about resilience, Dr. Mindset Tuttle. Many young people today have been shielded from natural consequences and taught to prioritize immediate feelings over long-term goals.
You're absolutely right, Dr. Treadwell. The emphasis on immediate feelings and avoidance of discomfort has led many Gen Z individuals to seek constant validation online rather than developing intrinsic motivation.
Well, Buck, while I agree that social media seems to be having a significant impact on teenage behavior.
Absolutely, Vern. Social media is a significant factor here. The constant dopamine hits from likes and shares, the pressure to create entertaining content, it's rewiring their brains and eroding impulse control. I pause thoughtfully before continuing, but we can't ignore the role of poor boundary setting at home and school too. Kids need clear expectations and consequences offline for this behavior to change online.
So here's your chance to prove you're hip to the lingo. We've got 4 Gen Z terms here: A, finesse; B, clout; C, chogi; and D, dilute. answer to our little linguistic quiz was Delulu. Galu. Yes, you heard me right, folks. Delulu is indeed a real word that Gen Z uses. Isn't that just a bit delu in itself? It all sounds a bit delu to me, too. But I digress. Dr. Treadwell, I want to personally thank you for joining us today and sharing your invaluable insights with our audience.
Thank you for having me, Buck. It was a pleasure discussing these important issues, and I hope my perspective brought some insightful angles to today's show.
Well, folks, that wraps it up for today's show. I want to take a moment to thank our guest doctor.
Hey, Buck, it was a pleasure being here and discussing these important issues with you today.
Listen up, pet lovers. Today's show is brought to you by AI Pet Insurance, the only coverage that stands between your furry friends and rogue AI, turning their cute little minds into obedient servant bots for who knows what nefarious purposes. Don't wait until Philo starts barking in binary or Whiskers purrs on command through a foreign app. Get AI Pet Insurance now, before it's too late. Well, what a show, folks. What a show. We tackled everything from AI and programming to Gen Z's online antics, even threw in a quiz about their mysterious slang. Doctors, Treadwell and Mindset dropped some serious knowledge bombs, and I think we all left with our minds blown and plenty to chew on. But hey, that's what keeps you coming back, isn't it? The raw truth, the mind-blowing revelations, the no-holds-barred discussions. And we do it all right here for you, every single broadcast. So there you have it, folks. Another mind-blowing journey into the truth on today's show. We dove deep into the rabbit hole of AI and youth culture, and I gotta say, if you're not questioning everything after what we've uncovered here, you might be living in a simulation yourselves. But hey, that's why you keep coming back, for the raw, unfiltered truth that's gonna make you think twice about reality itself. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more of this mind-blowing journey into the unknown. Buck out until next time.